From 1914 to 1918, the world was plunged into the Great War, the First World War, the first ever truly global war. It was devastation on an unprecedented scale, killing an estimated 38 million people. When the guns fell silent in 1918, the world had changed forever. Empires had fallen, new countries had been born, and everyone involved had suffered and sacrificed for their cause. The victors, the US, Britain, France, Russia, and their allies, believed they fought to stop an aggressive German empire from taking over Europe. The world we live in was shaped by these events 100 years ago. So, my name is Danny Burke, and what if World War I didn't happen? On June 28, 1914, Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria was assassinated by a Serbian nationalist who hoped his death would cause Austria-Hungary's South Slav provinces to break away and form a Yugoslavia. Ordinarily, this would be an overlooked historic footnote if it didn't end up leading to World War I. Austria-Hungary declared war on the Kingdom of Serbia as retaliation. Suddenly, countries all over the world began to back up their allegiances with the two countries. From one single assassination, millions of soldiers lined up in the trenches to fight the bloodiest war the world has ever seen. But what if the assassination had never taken place? Or what if the nations of the world had done more to stop the crisis boiling over into war? For one, the countries involved would have been a lot richer. Every single nation involved in the war had to borrow money to pay for the war effort. The total cost involved was an estimated $186 billion, economically crippling those involved. Perhaps that money could have been put back into their own countries, becoming richer as well as more scientifically and culturally powerful. America joined the war a year before its end. Before that, it had been an isolated nation, unwilling to tangle itself with the affairs of other countries. Because of their involvement in World War I, they became involved in, whether they liked it or not, world politics, its wars, and keeping the peace. Can you imagine a world where the United States does not intervene in the affairs of other nations? For better or for worse, the world would look very different than it does today. Perhaps the biggest thing that will come from no World War I is, strangely, no World War II. When Germany lost World War I, it was forced to sign the Treaty of Versailles. They had to pay other countries for the damage they caused, their military could be no larger than 100,000, and they lost territory to their neighbours. This, coupled with the effects of the Great Depression, left Germans desperate for change. A young politician called Adolf Hitler saw his chance to fill the power vacuum by promising the German people a better future. His actions led to World War II, which killed even more people than World War I, and of course, the Holocaust itself. If there was no Holocaust, then perhaps there would be no state of Israel, and by this point, you can really start to see a butterfly effect happening here. Now, although war is, by and large, a negative thing, there are arguably also some good things that came from World War I. If it never happened, technology would undoubtedly not be as advanced as it is today. Military spending drove the invention and production of computers, antibiotics, and the internet itself. If World War I never happened, perhaps I wouldn't even be able to make this video for you to watch online. What if type questions are always rabbit holes, and the bigger the what if, the bigger the hole is to fall down. In the 100 years since World War I, the world has changed so much because of it, for better or for worse. Perhaps I wouldn't even be here to make this video. Perhaps you wouldn't be here to watch it. Or maybe there would be two other people in our places, descendants of the millions who would have survived if World War I had never happened. I'm Danny Burke. You're watching Life's Biggest Questions. Be sure to check out our other videos for more head-scratching questions and fascinating answers.